Dear students, myself AYUB DILBER. I am now with the fifth lecture on the prepositions. Today we will discuss something about the prepositions that are related to time. So time prepositions, they are related to time, as I already said. So it means it is an event. So an event can be, an event, let us say an event, it can take place at a point of time. It will take place at a point, or it will take time, or on a day. It will take place on a day, or it will take place in a period. Day or date. So when we say time prepositions, by time prepositions we mean that the prepositions that are related to time. यहाँ पे हम prepositions की बात कर रहे हैं कि वो prepositions जो वक्त के साथ ताल्लुक रखती हैं, जो टाइम के साथ ताल्लुक रखती हैं, ये इवेंट्स के साथ ताल्लुक रखती है। हम ये कह सकते हैं कि इवेंट्स जो होते हैं वो तीन तरह के हो सकते हैं। ये एट ए पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, मिसाल के तौर पर हम ये कह सकते हैं एट ए पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम में, जैसे वी कैन से एट 10 a.m. We can say simply, we can say at 10 a.m. or we can say at 10 o'clock at Delhi, like this. We can say at 11 o'clock. We can say at Delhi. So these are related events with a point. These events are related with points, so we can use at. We can use at. Simply, when we say on a day, on a date, we use on. On preposition we use, for example, we may say on Monday. Or we can say, let it be today's date, on 10th of June 2020. So it can be related to this. We can say at a point of time, we can say on Monday, we can say on 10th of July, we can say, so it is related to date, it is related to time. So this time is day or date, it takes with it on. So on is the preposition, it takes a day or date. At is used to discuss a point of time, at, and accordingly in, it is a period of time, a sum total of some time. We can say in the night, in the day, in June. Okay, we can say in June, in the night. So here we use this time preposition with a period. So in June, it determines a period. In the night, it determines a period. Okay, but one thing we have to remember, that when there are such words like last, or words like next, words like last, words like next, what do? We omit in. We cannot say in. So for example, you have to omit in. यानी जब आप पीरियड ऑफ टाइम की बात करते हैं, आप इन जून कह सकते हैं, इन नाइट कह सकते हैं, लाइक दैट कह सकते हैं। लेकिन अगर ऐसी कोई तरकीब आ जाती है जिसमें आपको लास्ट या आपके साथ नेक्स्ट इसमें इस्तेमाल होता है, वहां पे आपको इन ओमिट करना पड़ेगा। से फॉर एग्जाम्पल, यू कैन नॉट से द इन in last January, like this. If this is to be omitted, in is incorrect. You can say simply, you have to say last January. Accordingly, you have to say not next week. I will come to see you next week. Not in next week. So these things are to be taken into consideration over here. Accordingly, when we events can last for some time. You remember this? Events can last for some time. जो events होते हैं वो किसी देर तक रह सकते हैं. They can be to show duration of an event. किसी event की कोई duration, मिसाल के तौर पर कोई event शुरू हुआ, say for example आज 10 तारीख से 12 तारीख तक, from 10th to 12th of June. This is a duration. It shows us duration. तो ऐसी prepositions जिनमें हम ड्यूरेशंस का इस्तेमाल करते हैं, सो वी यूज ड्यूरिंग और वी यूज ऑल थ्रू. यहां पे हम इस्तेमाल करते हैं, सो वी यूज ड्यूरिंग, वी यूज ऑल थ्रू, वी यूज थ्रू आउट, like this. We use throughout, we use right through, हम इनका इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं to emphasize the duration. To emphasize duration को emphasize करने के लिए हम during का, although का, throughout, all through का, throughout का, right through का इस्तेमाल करते हैं. मिसाल के तौर पर if I say like this, Shabir sleeps, okay, during the history class. यानी Shabir sleeps during the history class. ओके, इसी तरह से या हम ये भी लिख सकते हैं like this, Shabir sleeps all through the history period or history class. So इन चीजों का हम यहाँ पे ऐसे इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. इसी तरह से जब हम from का इस्तेमाल करते हैं, it marks the beginning of the period. When we say from means beginning. From means beginning of the period. Okay? To mark the beginning of a period. Okay? I work from 8 in the morning. If I say I work from 8 a.m. So this is where we use from. It is beginning of the period. When we use from, we use beginning of the period. So we can say that he works from 8 a.m. in the morning. Okay? So accordingly, when we use to with from, When we use to with from, it is a time period. It is a period which means how long an event took place. So when we use to with from, we say how long an event took place. For example, the schools in Kashmir open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. like this. The schools in Kashmir open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. means this shows how long. This shows you how long did an event take place. So when to is used with from, then is like this. Accordingly, till can also be used instead of to. Till can be used instead of to. Till can be used instead of to, okay, to mark the end of the period. To mark the end of the period. So till can be also used in place of to mark the end of the period. For example, if I say I work from 9 in the morning till 8 in the evening. So here till also it marks the end of the period. It marks the end of the period. Okay. Accordingly, there is also choice of till and until. They mean the same. As there is a confusion and many of the times to use how we use, when we use shall or when we use will. So accordingly, there is also till and until. They mean the same, though there is slight difference in use. Till and until, it is a matter of preference. Until is preferred when clause comes from in the first in a sentence, when time clause. So until is preferred when time clause comes first. When time clause comes first, until is preferred. So how can we say until today I don't know what happened? If I write like this, until today. So you see, today gives you an event, okay? Until today. So this is a time clause. Until today, I don't know what will be the outcome of the trial. So you can use, but you can also use till today. I don't know this. So it can be preferred, but if you use till, it is also correct. Okay. So it is not wrong to use till in place of until. So accordingly, when we use before and after, When we use before and after, it indicates relationship between the two events. It before and after relationship between the two events. It shows relationship between the two events. When there are two events, it shows relationship between, when we use the preposition of before and preposition after. So it shows relationship, okay? For example, she finished cooking before her children came from school. So you see there is a relationship between these two events, so we used over here before, okay? Or I arrived, okay? I arrived at the town hall after the chief guest had dropped in. So we use this time preposition before and after. I think for in this lecture it will do for today. Tomorrow I will be with next lecture on these time prepositions and all other about the prepositions. We will talk about simple prepositions and we will talk about compound prepositions. Till then, take care. Goodbye.